Welcome everyone to our latest presentation here on Assistive Touch. This presentation is done by Dave Dunham on Microsoft Copilot.
Okay, we're talking today about Microsoft Copilot. Just going to start with a description of what's been going on with AI. As I've mentioned in the past, in some of our reviews a year ago, AI really started in the 80s, but has been evolving ever since to a point where it's become conversational now, and other applications are being found in different areas. SoundHound, which some of you may have heard about, identifies songs. That's an app that came out maybe 5 years ago, identifies songs. They now have a contract with a bunch of West Coast restaurant type chains to run their drive-throughs through SoundHound's AI software. The AI, Google's AI in the past year evolved into something where instead of the regular search engine, which is based on AI, they provided information that is not based on sources, but takes, shall we say, a collection of sources and provide you a result. So you could say, is BBAI a strong buy? So this is a stock type question. And it does its thing, and then you get an answer. So we can see what AI overview says. So have people noticed this in the Google search engine where you get the AI overview first?
Yes.
Okay. And then below, they'll have those that have paid for an ad, which in this case, since I zoomed all the way out, can't really see it. I could do this on the screen reader, but I don't want to confuse everybody with what we're about to do with the voice. And below it are other advertisements based on their pay level. And somebody, I don't know who it was, on one of our sessions recently talked about SOE, which is basically paying for advertisement on the web. And these are the different categories you're getting nowadays. And then you get down to just your basic, those that are not advertised that or haven't paid. So this is the type of information that Google's doing now. Starts with an AI overview. And this is a conglomeration, shall I say, of many different opinions. And it might be from the links that I showed below. If we go further down, then after the first level of advertisement, they have this people also ask area, which they've had for many years, but this is also an AI type feature that's been around in Google itself, where they rephrase the question you just asked, and you can look on these and they'll bring up a different types of answers, maybe some data, in this case on a stock. BBAI is Big Bear AI. They were founded in 1988. They just landed a big defense and NASA contract. So if Luigi were here, I would tell him that's his second stock tip of the day. So anyway, this is information for us to work with. Now, it's interesting. So this isn't really conversational. This is still the traditional Google search engine, but providing more information and providing their conglomeration of information based on other sources. This could be totally wrong. Just to keep in mind, that's the one thing that Richard always worries about with AI. What was it? ChatGPT at one point said the winners of the 1962 Super Bowl were the New York Jets. And if anybody knows, they were called the New York Titans in 1962.
Blasphemy.
And also there was no Super Bowl in 1962.
Yeah.
Okay, so they call those types of things from AI a hallucination. That's the official term. And it is kind of a digital hallucination. This is the Windows. Now this is where I hit the Windows button on your Windows computer, which is the magic button for everything. If you want to search anything. In this case, I have a computer here that is set up with a Microsoft Exchange account, mapcommunity.org, which all of us at MAP have, or MAPV anyway. And I'm going to type Copilot. So we all have this software. We just never knew we had it. So I type Copilot, I hit enter, and it starts me off. Good morning to me, and so forth.
Hey, David.
There we go. I just hit the microphone. It says hello, good morning. Can everybody hear that?
Loud and clear, David.
Yes.
Morning.
Yes.
Okay. So it's very conversational.
Absolutely. Just like a chat with a friend. What's on your mind today?
So we'll start with the demo that Ed App was talking about. Ed's on here today, so he can help us with all of this. But is Python a good software for coding websites?
Python's great for web development, especially with frameworks like Django and Flask. They simplify complex tasks and can speed up development. Plus, Python's readable syntax is a win. Ever tried using it for web projects?
No.
Got it. Well, if you're curious, it's pretty beginner friendly and has a huge community. Tons of resources to help you get started. Thinking about diving into coding?
Yes.
Awesome choice. It's a skill that's super valuable. Any particular area of coding you want to explore?
Websites.
That sounds like Lisa.
Starting with websites opens up a lot of opportunities.
Well,
Front end,
so stop.
sure.
What about programming in Rattlesnake?
Sorry, could you clarify what you mean by programming in Rattlesnake? Are you talking about a specific language or tool?
I'm just seeing if you're on your toes.
Gotcha. Keeping me sharp, huh? I'm ready for any curveballs you throw my way.
So let's ask another thing.
David, ask her about to give us a keystroke for editing text on iOS device.
Which keystroke do you want to be more specific?
For editing text.
What are the keystroke commands for editing text on an iOS device?
On iOS, common text editing keystrokes include Command X to cut, Command C to copy, and Command V to paste. For undo, use Command Z, and for redo, Command Shift Z. They're similar to Mac shortcuts. Handy, right?
Yes, they're also similar to Windows shortcuts.
Exactly. It's intuitive and makes switching between devices smoother. Nice when things work together like that. Going to give coding on iOS a shot?
So anyway, I'm going to shut this off again. So let's look at other capabilities that it cannot do, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Please read the book of Genesis.
I'm unable to read the book of Genesis for you, but I can discuss its themes or provide summaries. What aspect interests you?
What's it about?
Genesis is about beginnings. It covers the creation of the world, the stories of Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, and the patriarchs like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. It lays the foundation for many key themes in the Bible. Fascinating stuff.
Play Tom Petty.
Tom Petty's former beach house in St. Augustine is up for sale. It's a luxurious spot with ocean views, a private pool, and it's even zoned for short-term rentals. A real piece of rock and roll history. Anything else about Tom Petty you're curious about?
Play a song.
I can't play existing songs, but I can make up an original song for you. Or if you're in the mood for a classic, I can sing Happy Birthday or a nursery rhyme. What are you feeling?
Make up an original song.
All right, Here we go. Woke up today, sun is shining bright, chasing my dreams with all my might. Life's a song, I'm dancing to the beat. With every step, I'm feeling more complete.
Yes.
Rachel, excuse it might sound like a very naive and ignorant question, but why bother with these things when they're not accurate? How do we know? How do we confirm?
Because it actually can be helpful for certain things. It recommends, for example, if I want to do Python coding, to use Visual Studio, which is a Microsoft software. So it is a little bit biased probably. But
Got
but I know Visual Studio is pretty good for a lot of coding. And it is very accessible with Windows screen readers.
Okay, so for the most part, it is
So I
accurate.
know that's a good answer.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, I was actually curious. What's the database that they're gathering the content from? You want to ask it that?
What's the database that Copilot searches for information?
I don't use a specific database. When I need current information, I use online sources, like search engines, to find the latest updates. This way, I can provide you with the most recent and relevant info.
So
What search engine is Copilot based on?
I don't use a specific search engine. Instead, I access a variety of reputable web sources to find up-to-date information.
how do you,
Reputable.
Helps
how
ensure
do
I
you,
give you the most relevant and current answers.
how do you make that determination though?
Reputable.
How do you make the determination that a web source is reputable?
I look for information from recognized and trustworthy sources, like established news outlets, academic journals, official websites, and expert opinions. Reputable sites usually have a history of accuracy and credibility. It's
Okay.
important to cross-check facts and consider the source's reputation.
Does she
How
have
do
Is
you
Al Jazeera a reputable news source?
Al Jazeera is generally considered a reputable news source. It's widely recognized for its international coverage, particularly in the Middle East.
For more information, contact Jerry Feliz, Access Technology Director, phone number 857-443-6636, email jfeliz@mapcommunity.org. Thank you so much for watching.